Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. Welcome on the show. My name is Wale Scott. Too many things to discuss this morning. But let's come home first. Nigeria's team to the Under-19 Boys Volleyball World Championships in Tehran, Iran, will depart for the Asian country today. The event holds from August 24th to September 4th, 2021. Nigeria, the African champions, are in Pool A with host Iran, Poland, and Guatemala. Meanwhile, head coach of the team, Sani Mohammed, announced the final 12-man list for the World Championships on Wednesday. The team will be captained by Kano Pillars Michael Abari and assisted by Nasser Thunder's Jerry Kinsey. Regulars like Offers Abdul Qadri Jayola, COS striker Vincent Matthias, and NSDC's Ozokoye Pascal are on the list of players for the trip to Iran. Mohammed stated that the team's aim was to surpass their previous 14th position at the 2019 edition in Tunisia. The Nigeria under-19 players played against Kaduna selected and Abuja selected in their final friendlies before the World Championship. This is not my story. My story actually is the under-20s won the 4x400 meters relay in the under-20 African Championship in Nairobi, in Kenya. These guys are going to make us proud. We are expecting the Paralympians, which starts over the weekend, to make us proud. I'm sorry to say this. The able-bodied guys are not just making us proud. Why are we depending on the youths? Every major tournament we have won, except for Atlanta 96 gold medal, has been won by the youngsters and the physically challenged people.
Okay, so we always talk about how it's essential for our sports to grow, for government to invest in grassroots, invest in youth, because these are the players that are going to develop for the future. As well as being youth players, some of these players do have parents who contribute and help these players get to where they need to be, who discipline them and keep them on track. But the older these athletes get, the less support they get from parents who expect them to now be independent, from government who doesn't seem to do what needs to be done to maintain standards that they've set in the youth system. And administrations come and go, and everyone's priority changes. So with the not so able-bodied, I mean, they are handicapped to begin with.
But the problem I have is, I've said this story times immemorial on this show. I had a physically challenged Paralympian who used to be live around my area then. I was the one that escorted her to the BRT stop in barracks in Surulere precisely. I followed her to the airport. That's how bad it was. She came back to Nigeria with a silver medal. This woman's diet was rice, yam, beans, and meat, warm meat, and sachet water. So we don't even take care of them, and they still go there and make us proud, you know?
Well, we don't take care of them, but I have to say one thing. As handicapped people, and I say that with all due respect, they are already faced with adversity that life has unfortunately thrown at them. So it's, I wouldn't say easier, but they do face challenges on a daily basis.
So what you're saying is,
the Olympics, the Paralympics, isn't something that is overwhelming, isn't life and death for them. When you bring that kind of focus from dealing with challenges every day in your life, the sport becomes easier for you.
I'm sure if government officials are listening to you right now, they'll be popping champagne and clapping for you. But if the average physically challenged person and the poor person is listening to you, if they see you on the road right now, after this show, they'll kill you. I'm sure that. Alexander Zverev carried his Olympic gold medal winning form into Cincinnati, beginning his Western and Southern Open campaign with a straight sets win over South African Lloyd Harris. Zverev, playing his first match since claiming gold in Tokyo, did not face any breakpoints and hit an aces route to a 7-6, 3-6-3 victory. His first at the tournament, having lost all 6 of his previous opening round matches. Everything is beginning to shift from Nadal, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic. We're now shifting to people like Gael Monfils, Medvedev, Tsitsipas, and now Alexander Zverev.
You just have to say that it's impressive that players like Djokovic, Nadal, still prove on their day to be tough opponents for these younger boys who can send you back and forth, left and right on the court and have more pace, more energy to burn. And yet, Djokovic is still number 1.
Okay. In Nigeria, if you are from the Yoruba race, they will say Ntoin. But in the Western world, they would say, eat your heart out. She cried away. She, first of all, refused to play and said she had mental issues. And then she cried away from her first press conference, only buttressing the fact that don't ask questions you don't need to ask me. I'm a human being too, you know? And then she wins her first match. Yes. Naomi Osaka.
If we take away the pressure of the media and all eyes on these players, if they played the game in a vacuum, they wouldn't have the kind of situation we're having with Naomi Osaka now. We're in a situation that many athletes have come out to say, yes, we back Naomi Osaka, and some of us have felt the sting of what
people have backed her, even senators, politicians, yes. Clerics, you know. I think it's good for her.
With these athletes, when you're good, you're good. And if you take away the fans, if you take away, these people will still perform. It's different to certain sports where you need to feed off the energy of the
I think
crowd.
It's not fair. There's this popular house game show, reality show in Nigeria, that one of the housemates just left, and they claimed he left for mental issues. He reclined. You see, sometimes some people just can't take public glare. They can't deal with the public. I mean, you know, it takes a lot of work. I think people don't understand that it takes a lot of work for people like you and I to actually deal with. When you walk out and people are like, oh, that's that guy, you know?
The need to entertain should not outweigh your mental security, your mental health.
So sad. Now, days after briefly leaving a pre-tournament news conference in tears, Naomi Osaka began a Western and Southern Open campaign with a hard-fought victory over Coco Gauff in 3 sets on Wednesday. Now, on Monday, August, a tearful Osaka briefly left the news conference after a relationship with journalists was put under the spotlight by a reporter who accused her of using the media when it suits her. The Japanese star, who returned to complete the news conference, has lately had a stranded relationship with sections of the media, saying her mental health is adversely impacted by certain lines of questioning. On our program yesterday, on Tuesday, we spoke about the fact that 2 taekwondoists who were supposed to leave Afghanistan for Tokyo for the Paralympics couldn't make it anymore because the airports are closed. I think it's sad, really, because I've always said that politics, war, and all that should not get involved with sports. Let's leave sports as it is and leave politics as it is. We don't want to be involved in the politics.
Really. We wish athletes had the kind of protection that the press have to a certain extent. The ability to walk into situations and know that they have immunity, some sort of immunity, and even respect, no matter who's warring against who. and know that safe passage is provided. Because at the end of the day, whoever is fighting who, at the end of the day, these athletes represent all of us.
We have more about the Afghanistan issue after the Taliban took over. Now, the former captain of the Afghan women's soccer team has urged players to delete social media, erase public identities, and burn their uniforms for safety's sake, now that the country is again under Taliban rule. Copenhagen-based Khalid Said said that their militants had killed, raped, and stoned women in the past, and female footballers were scared of what the future might hold. The co-founder of the Afghan Women's Football League said she had always used a voice to encourage young women to stand strong, to be bold, to be visible. But now she has a different message. When this lady started this league, you saw them initially. They used to wear, I don't know how comfortable that would have been to have played in that long gown and with the veil on your head. But eventually, after the Taliban left 20 years ago, they were able to wear normal shirts, leave their hairs open and play football and wear shorts, and it was nice. But she's now telling the ladies that, listen, the freedom we had
It's gone.
when we started this league is gone. And you guys should burn your jerseys, stay off social media, try and leave the country if you can. It's that bad. She was almost in tears there.
I hope that this whole situation will resolve itself, that there will be a calming effect that will come into Afghanistan.
Because she's actually urging the female footballers to burn their jerseys. So if they come and search your house, they won't see it there.
I hope this whole situation is just a temporary thing where their dreams are delayed by a very short while.
Amen.
But not deferred.
Amen. Now, Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson is reportedly set to sign a 3-year contract extension at the club. Reds manager Jurgen Klopp, who has always spoken admirably of Henderson, was supposedly a decisive factor in the decision. 31-year-old has won 5 major honours with Liverpool during his decade spent at the club, including the Premier League, UEFA Champions League as captain. Now, Norwegian hurdler Kirsten Wallum is not against innovation in sports, but feels the new carbon technology shoes are hurting athletes' credibility. The men's 400 meters hurdles champion at the Tokyo Olympics told reporters, now Kirsten Wallum shaved off his own world record by 0.76 of a second of massive margin in a one-lap race to hold off American Roy Benjamin to win in Tokyo, what will be remembered as one of the all-time great Olympic races. Benjamin took silver in 46.17, also half a second inside Wallum's previous record of 46.70, while Brazilian Alisson dos Santos took bronze in 46.72, as 6 of the first 7 finishes set national or continental records. I have to discuss this. I've got people on my back here. I've got Mikhail beside me. That's worse.
But I'm not the
I've
person.
got Tola behind the scene. Chelsea fans. Frank. Now, Belgium international Romelu Lukaku said on Wednesday that he has been taking advice from Chelsea club legend Didier Drogba on his return to Stamford Bridge. 28-year-old striker, who will wear the number 9 shirt, moved to Chelsea from Inter Milan last week for a reported sum of £97.5 million. Now, a second spell at the London club where he spent 3 seasons from 2011 to 2014. Lukaku was Inter Milan's top scorer with 24 goals in last season, leading them to their first Scudetto in years. We really have to go, Mikhail. Romelu Lukaku. He says he's seeking advice from Didier Drogba. Can he ever be like Drogba? Quickly.
There will never be another Drogba. There will be a new Lukaku.
Mikhail Tinubu, Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Sharing us on this show. It's a Thursday. Thank you very much for joining us. Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. Join us same time tomorrow, same station. My name is Wale Scott. Like I always advise you, at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.